The City of Brooklyn Center is eyeing a significant community center expansion. That expansion would include the construction of an indoor gym space, a teen lounge, and a walking track. Existing locker rooms and event spaces would also be renovated. The $37 million project would be largely funded by sales tax revenue. The Brooklyn Center City Council recently approved putting the 0.5% sales tax hike plan before voters this November.
And I, for one, think it's a perfect opportunity to exercise democracy and let them have a voice in that process. We've done the legwork of securing the bonding.
According to city staff, the city has never gone to voters before to use sales tax revenue for projects. The Robbinsdale School Board has elected a new board chair.
New leadership is needed to shift the board into action. We seem lately to be sort of floundering and stuck.
Renee Bowman was elected chair. She was mayor of Crystal from 2005 to 2012. Bowman replaces board member Helen Bassett as chair. Meanwhile, the board is working with a mediator to improve relationships between members. It's also looking to hire a new superintendent to replace David Engstrom, who left in September. Longtime state representative Mike Nelson of Brooklyn Park is among a dozen Minnesota House members not running for re-election. This weekend in Newsmakers, I had a chance to sit down with Representative Nelson to look at his 22 years in office and look at the session ahead. Thank you so much, Representative Nelson, for talking to me today. I guess I want to start off with, after about 22 years representing Brooklyn Park, Osseo, what led to your decision to retire?
It's just about, I guess it's time. It's time to move on. It's a lot of I've got a lot of things accomplished, and when I first ran, I didn't think I was going to be here that long. And like I said, it's 11 terms, 22 years. It's time to move on with my life and actually retire and see what that's like.
Well, I know you have background as a carpenter, right?
Yes.
And then you spent much of your career advocating for labor and unions. Do you have any standout memories or accomplishments in that realm or in that category?
I worked on legislation through the years about wage theft, and that's big in the news with the Attorney General going after that farm family that's been cheating people out of wages. But wage theft is something I've worked on. There's two parts of that. One is just the actual not paying people what you say you're going to pay them, cheating them on their hours. Another thing is misclassifying workers that, if you're on a prevailing wage job and I, instead of calling you a carpenter, I call you a laborer and I pay you less. So you're cheating people out of what they should be owed, what they're working. So that's something I've worked on. Another piece of legislation that I'm proud of is we passed legislation to allow home healthcare workers and home daycare workers. It was a two-part legislation to form a union and negotiate and get better wages. The home healthcare workers did that. They used the legislation and have formed a union and have actually improved the wages of those people that take care of the sick and the elderly that are in their homes. The daycare workers, not so much. That didn't pan out, but they still have the ability to do that. Again, that's about making people's lives better, making the ability to earn better wages and support their families.
What do you hope is next for the House as you retire? What do you hope they accomplish in your absence?
Just continue looking out for Minnesota. I mean, we had a historic, the last biennium, we had a historic surplus partly because of the pandemic and federal dollars that came in here, partly because a lot of one-time money that came in here, and we spent that wisely and still left us money on the bottom line. In the December forecast, there was a surplus, again, $2.5 billion surplus. But we have to be careful when we spend that money, because you can't just spend money on ongoing programs. That last time with one-time money, so we used it judiciously to make sure that the one-time money was spent on one-time things, and programs going forward that there was funding for those.
The session reconvenes on February 12th. Students from Crestview Elementary in Brooklyn Park recently got to try cross-country skiing, some of them skiing for the first time. As I found out, it was a field trip with bigger life lessons. Like any winter sport,
get into our pizza.
in skiing, it takes some time to find your footing.
I learned about it's really hard to ski because you're going to be falling down. It's really fun.
Crestview kids are learning that firsthand.
The kids have been practicing at school on the gym floor mats, and this is the first time that they are on snow skiing this winter. Let's see it.
Third grade teacher Caitlin Leininger says it's been a joy to watch. Many of these students have never strapped into ski boots before.
Academics are one part of school, but being out in the community and watching them try something new for the first time it melts my heart. It's exciting. It's fun.
This unique field trip is part of the Mini Lopit, which strives to teach kids to love the outdoors in all of its elements.
Mostly, I'm just here to have fun. Nothing else.
All right, go down again.
Crestview fourth graders like Tysel and Deleva are certainly embracing that.
I mean, a little bit hard, but it's kind of fun.
Mini Lopit also seeks to make the outdoors more inclusive by partnering with Minneapolis and Osseo schools. And through every stride and stumble,
It's very awesome and cool.
kids are taking a new skill home.
Being out here is learning. They're learning to put skis on, say excuse me when they are on skis. So lots of learning opportunities while they are out here as well.
And it's a bonus chance to take what they've learned to the great outdoors. The Lopit Foundation helped sponsor and provide equipment for the Crestview Elementary ski trip.